Hi everyone, my name's Derrick Ross. I'm a bear trainer. This is one of the bears we have. We are up to 16 bears right now. This is Indian. She's 9 years old. She's a North American grizzly. We've had her and her brother since they were 7 months old. We got them from a park in Idaho. They were actually scheduled to be euthanized. Now, the reason they were going to do that is because bears 2 years and under won't hibernate without the mother. So in order to keep them through the winter, they would have had to feed them. They didn't want to do that or waste the money on it, so they figured they'd put them down. Now, my dad heard about it, and him and a couple of friends ran up there and got them. We've had them ever since. They're really good bears. This one right here is actually the sweetest one that we have.
We're going to go into our first question here, which is from Maggie Shine. And she says, myth versus reality about how to avoid conflict with one of the bears in close proximity, how to read bear body language, and neither disturb or agitate, or how to neither disturb or agitate if they have any body language that shows that.
Well, bears don't really show any kind of body language. If they're angry, their ears will stick behind their heads, similar to a cat sometimes. Not very often, though. What she's doing here right now is saying, give me those cookies. I've got a little bit of that.
Now she's gonna beg. She's like, come on, give me it. I know you got it. That was great.
That was a bear bird. Best thing to do if you're in the wild and you see one and it does come after you, park rangers tell people to throw rocks at them and aim for the feet or the nose. Those are the only weak points on a bear. If you hit it anywhere else, it's just gonna make it mad and probably run a little quicker.
So let's move on to our next question, which is, do you know how to safely store food when camping to prevent bears from being drawn to your campsite? And that's by Christine Dawson.
Well, the easiest way to store your food at a campsite, if you're around bears, you want to put it in some bags so that the smell doesn't come out real good, because they do have a really good sense of smell. It's about 100,000 times better than a human's. Now, you can hang it up in a tree. That works pretty good. Some people say bury it. I don't recommend that, because even if it is buried, these guys can still smell it. So the best thing to do is to hang it up in a tree and try and get it about 10 or 15 feet above the ground.
Our next question here is from, who is this? Stormy Steganga. How many different kinds of bears are there in the world?
Well, it used to be around 1,000 different species of bears, but what they were doing back then when they first started making up the books for them, every time they'd move 40 or 50 miles, they'd see a bear that looked slightly different from the one beforehand. So they just put it as a different species. Now, there's, I think, down to about 14 different species of bears. There's the North American grizzly, Kodiaks, North American black bears, Asiatic black bears, which have 3 subspecies, the sloth bear, the sun bear, and the moon bear. There's also the spectacled bear from South America, the Hokkaido from Japan, and the Kamchatka from Russia.
Okay.
There are also panda bears as well. And a common misconception about the koala bear is it's a marsupial, not an actual bear. Sorry about that.
Karina Barber, and she asks, in Florida, how large is a bear's territory and how far do they travel in general per day? Will the bears in Florida hunt horses, cattle, or chicken?
Well, territory for a bear in Florida is probably going to be around 20 miles. Up north, they do have territories ranging around 80 miles. They'll usually travel around 5 to 10 miles a day, unless they can find a good food source. Then they'll stay in that area. Now, they will not go after cows or horses. There's too much of a chance of them getting injured. They are opportunists, so they will go for chickens, because it's a tasty little meal. They do go for the easiest meals available.
You're an unprofessional, sir.
Thanks, Mom. We're filming.
Keeping that. We're keeping that.
Thanks, Mom.
Now, where was I?
How do you keep the bears basically occupied and keep them exercising in the captivity?
Well, Fish and Wildlife requires a 32 by 24 foot area that they can have, that they can go out in and play in. They have a den area that they can stay in at night so they feel safe and are out of the elements. They're also required to have a pool. Several toys and stuff that they can rip apart and play with, areas where they can dig, that kind of stuff. In the wild, though, they will have 20 to 80 to 100 mile range that they'll travel in pretty regularly. Hey, where are you going?
All right, so that's all the questions we're going to answer for today about bears. We may eventually do another educational video about them, but The next educational video we will be doing is actually going to be about owls, so look forward to seeing that soon.